In the ancient land of Eldoria, long before men built their stone halls and dwarves carved their mountain keeps, there lived a humble cat named He was no larger than any barn cat, with fur as dark as midnight and eyes that glowed like green lanterns. He was born in the quiet hamlet of Willowmere, where the hobbit folk tended their gardens and told stories by the fireside. But Felinor was no ordinary cat, for in the night when the stars were bright and the wind whispered through the trees, you could hear the call of the ancient Whiskerstone a Jewel, said to hold the wisdom of every creature that ever prowled beneath the moon, long lost in the ruins of the shadow. The Whiskerstone was guarded by creatures far greater than any hobbit's tale dared whisper. One autumn eve, as the Shire folk prepared their harvest feast, a shadow passed over Wilton with a red croaker, servant of the Whisper, who sought to claim the Whiskerstone and bend all living things to his master's will. With a cry that shook the village, the croaking's flock swept down, and fear spread like wildfire. But Felinor, silent and unyielding, leapt upon the village wall and stared into the dark sky. And though he was small, something ancient stood within him, a courage older than men, a fire brighter than any sun. He knew his path, so began Felinor's quest to travel across Eldor, through forests haunted by wolves, across rivers watched by whispering spirits, and into the jagged peaks of Mount Ashfall, where the Whiskerstone awaited. Along the way, he was joined by companions. Brindlefoot, a loyal farm dog with a heart bigger than his head. Thistlebrook, a hobbit who loved food far more than danger. And Seraphiel, an elf of silver hair, who alone knew the ancient tongue of cats. Through peril and laughter, through hunger and song, they walked together. And though Felinor was the smallest, his could slip unseen into the shadow veil and steal hope back from the darkness. Legends say Felinor reached the heart of the vale, where the croaking perched atop the Whiskerstone Tower's sharpest swords. And though no man or elf could stand against such a beast, the little cat leapt with all his might, claws gleaming, and struck with the fury of every wild heart that ever beat beneath the stars. The battle shook the night, but when dawn broke, it was Felinor who stood upon the stone, his green eyes blazing. The Whiskerstone's light spread once more across the land, banishing the croaking into shadow. And so, the smallest of all creatures became the greatest of heroes. Even now, in the cozy inns and bustling halls of Eldoria, folks can't stop chatting about Felinor the Shadowpaw, the little cat who carried the weight of the world on his tiny shoulders, and guess what? He never backed down, not even when things got super tough.